Welcome back. Can I remind members of the need to respect each other, and I will continue to chair these meetings fairly and to show impartiality. Likewise, members of the public are welcome, but should be aware that they should not interrupt the proceedings, as disruption may result in removal from the public area. The rules of conduct for the meeting have been circulated in advance of the meeting, and we will now move to the formal business of the AGM. Minutes of the meeting held on the 13th of April 2022. I will move the acceptance of these as a correct record. Leader, do you second? Can I put the minutes to the vote? All those in favour of accepting the minutes, please show. I declare the approval of the minutes as carried. Mayor's announcements. A vote of thanks for the retiring Mayor's Cadet. On behalf of the Council, I wish to place on record thanks to Megan Lawrence of the Royal Air Force, who was last year's Mayor Cadet. Megan undertook the role with confidence and commitment and was an asset to the office of the Mayor. Special meeting of the Council, the 31st of May, which is next week. I would like to remind members of the Council that there will be a special meeting of the Council next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Please can you make every effort to attend this prestigious meeting to confer the honorary freedom on the Duke of Lancaster Regiment. Members will then be asked to line Library Street near the Town Hall steps to see the regiment begin their march through the town. You will all then have the opportunity to attend the atrium for a light lunch, and please ensure that you have read your emails from Democratic Services regarding road closures and parking on this day. Wigan Warriors and Lee Centurions. I would like to offer my congratulations to Wigan Warriors and Lee Centurions for reaching the Challenge Cup final and the 1895 Cup final. Wigan Warriors will play Huddersfield Giants in the Challenge Cup final, and Lee Centurions will play Featherstone in the 1895 Cup final. Both finals will take place on Saturday the 28th of May at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Good luck to both teams. Wigan Athletic Football Club. I would like to congratulate Mr. Tala Al-Hamad, Chairman of Wigan Athletics Football Club, on their promotion to the Championship from League One. Well done, Wigan Athletic. High Sheriff of Greater Manchester. I would like to congratulate Lorraine Worsley-Carter on her new appointment to the High Sheriff of Greater Manchester, having succeeded Diane Hawkins. Changes of dates to scrutiny. Please can I remind members of the Confident Council and Health and Social Care Scrutiny Committees that these committee meetings have swapped dates for their first meeting only. The scrutiny officer will be in touch to ensure that scrutiny members' diaries have the correct meeting dates in them. Death of Honorary Alderman Jeff Roberts. It is with deep regret that I must inform you of the death of Honorary Alderman Jeff Roberts, who sadly passed away on the 17th of May. He was appointed Honorary Alderman of the Borough on the 17th of September 2003, and he was first elected as a member of the Wigan Metropolitan Borough Council in 1991, following retirement as a council officer in 1988. He was elected to the Winstanley Ward. As a councillor, he served on the Planning and Development Committee, Education and Public Protection Committees. And in 1997, he became chair of the Housing Committee, a position he held for 3 years. The government's modernisation strategy in the year 2000 saw him appointed housing portfolio holder and spokesperson in the newly formed cabinet, an appointment he held for a year and had to relinquish in 2001 following his election as deputy mayor, later becoming mayor in 2002. He was appointed a governor at Winstanley Community Primary School in August 1996 to August 2004, and Highfield St Matthew's CE Primary School from August 1995 to August 2006. I now invite members to pay tributes to Honorary Alderman and former Mayor Jeff Roberts. Councillor Anderson.
Okay, thank you, Madam Mayor. Jeff was a true gentleman. It was only a few weeks ago when I last spoke to him on the phone. Although his physical health had deteriorated in recent years, his mind was still very sharp. I first met Jeff in 1987 when he was a senior finance manager in the old housing department and I was a housing management student on placement. It was really after my election to the council in 1994 that we formed a close friendship and the privilege of serving as his Vice Chair of Housing for a number of years. He encouraged me with my political career, for which I'm obviously grateful for. Jeff was an active trade unionist and chair of the Wigan Nalgo branch for a period of time, and he actually negotiated the first closed shop agreement in local government in the 80s. He was a devoted husband to his wife Betty and her children. Jeff and Betty were very active in the twinning society of Wigan and Jersey. Jeff will be missed by many people, and his passing is very sad indeed. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Reedy.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and congratulations on your office. I look forward to working with you throughout the year. My condolences go to Betty, and it's great to see Betty and Patty here, probably the most famous duo going around, always together and really good friends, so I'm sure you'll be there for each other in this sad time. I worked with Jeff quite a lot in the early years when I came on the council, and I'm happy to call Jeff a friend who always gave me advice in the early days. I worked with him in housing for a long time, and his knowledge, as Kevin said, in housing was invaluable to me at that time when we did that. I also did a lot of events with yourself, Betty and Jeff, when you was the mayor in the schools in Aspel, and you always, covered yourself with glory with the children, and you served the borough really well. But one of the things I want to really add is something that probably nobody would know in this room. I think the leader would know about it because we worked on this together. When we talk about this day and age that we're in today with the poverty and the food pantries that we've set up across the borough to make sure people can be fed, Jeff and Pat and Betty and Bill Evans at that time were probably the first pioneers of this, because they used to get the surplus stewed steak from the EU. I remember it very well, that they used to come to Aspel, sit in the council offices with myself and John Houlton, dishing stewed steak out to the many people who were on benefits at that day. So really you were really instrumental, really, and probably the people who started what we've got today of making sure that people had, and that food didn't go to waste. That was the big key when I chatted to Jeff. A lot of that food mountains would have gone to waste. He saved that, and going back all them years. So I want to thank Betty and Pat for being here today. I want to thank Jeff and Bill, who were not with us, for the work that they did, and did it with compassion, with a feeling for the borough and what you did. So thank you, and condolences to yourself and the family.
Councillor Walker.
Sorry, but I wasn't expecting to speak on this issue, but congratulations, by the way. But one of Jeff's most significant contributions to the council was as chairman of our housing company. So Wigan and Lee Homes, for many years, he was the chairman of. And to remind people, the reason that we created a company was so that we could improve our homes. Because without that, the 240 million quid that we got to improve our houses wouldn't have been forthcoming. So it was one of those, if we wanted to do our houses up, and Jeff talked us into that, and he talked into it for the right reasons, because he wanted those houses improved. Without them, we wouldn't have the decent kitchens, the decent bath, all the different things that we did to improve our houses and give them another 30 years of life. So I think that really has to be mentioned. And the other thing I want to particularly mention about Jeff is his keenness for the tenants to be an important driving force of our housing stock. They weren't just, they weren't a bit of a contributor. They weren't someone that you consulted. They had a bigger number of people on that board than the council did. And that was due to Jeff, who made that happen. So when we're talking about his various things he did, to my mind, that was the most significant thing, and he drove that forward for a number of years. And he also managed to attract some very significant people from outside the borough with housing skills who came on the board free. They didn't get paid. They came to add value to what we were doing because Jeff had that sort of reputation. So thank you on behalf of all the tenants, Jeff, for that huge contribution to our housing stock. Thank you.
Thank you. If you're able to, can I please now ask that you... Sorry, Councillor Davies.
Thank you. Can I just echo of what my colleagues have said about Jeff? He was a very kind and very generous man for the communities. And also what Chris has mentioned, that he worked with John in the Aspel area for the stewed meats, what was coming from the European countries, as I was working alongside in the Standish Labour Club for our Standish residents. But it was Jeff and Bill Evans who started all that off. Thank you very much for that. But also, I'd just like to mention that I think Kevin will know about this as well, because I remember when he was the housing chairperson, we was all invited, that's Kevin, myself and Jeffrey, to Arrogate for the housing community conference. And he was marvellous, the way he spoke and how he would get, the way that our residents, and not only our residents of Wigan, but the residents who did definitely need help in every community for the tenants, for the council homes, what was needed. So Jeffrey, yeah, he was an extraordinary man, but a clever man, but he was always also a lovable man, and especially, for our colleagues here and also for the community. So Betty, I love you. Thank you very much, and thank you to Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and congratulations to you and Crive on your auspicious credentials that you now have. Well done. Just to speak on Jeff, because obviously I worked with Jeff for a number of years, and Betty will know he was quite responsible for me having a nice garden. He used to come and deliver all these plants that my wife used to buy off Jeff, and if it weren't for them, I'm sure my gardening talents would have shone through. But also I did think of Jeff at weekend, because one passion that Jeff did have, as much as he loved his family and loved Betty and loved the stuff he got involved in, he also loved Leeds United Football Club. And I'm sure his presence would have been felt at the Brentford Community Stadium this weekend. And I don't think anybody would have been cheering louder than Jeff when the goal went in that secured Leeds United's future in the Premier League. So if he did have a fault, that was it. But coming from Yorkshire, obviously he realised this side of the Pennines was far better than anything on the other side of the Pennines, and became a Lancastrian, apart from the fact he worshipped Leeds United and the ground they walked on. So I know he'll be sadly missed by his family and friends, and I know he'll be sadly missed by Betty, but I certainly know he'll be missed down the Telham Road every time Leeds United kick off on a Saturday afternoon. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. If you're able to, can I please now ask that you stand for a moment as a remark of respect for Honorary Alderman and former Mayor, Mr Jeff Roberts. Thank you, everyone. Declarations of interest. The monitoring officer has provided advice to all members and relevant guidance has been issued. Members are asked to consider relevant interests for the purpose of this meeting, and if there are any interests, members must leave the room during the relevant item. Please fill out the forms on your agenda and return this to Democratic Services officers at the end of the meeting. Council elected on the 5th of May 2022 are welcome to new members. Congratulations to all those members who were re-elected on the 5th of May, and a warm welcome to all who have been elected as new councillors. Councillor Judith Atherton, Mary Callaghan, Shelley Guest, Vicky Gallagher, Steve Jones, James Palmer and David Woods. Former councillors not re-elected on the 5th of May 2022. On behalf of the council and the people of the borough, I would like to acknowledge the contribution of former member Michael Winstanley and place on record the council's appreciation of his service. I invite members to say a few words if they would like to do so. Councillor Evans.
If I could, and I'd like to say a heartfelt congratulations, Madam Mayor, on your election. And Clive, our exchanges in the past have been wonderful, and yes, just heartfelt congratulations to you. Regarding Michael, I just wanted to say that I would particularly like to thank him as previous Conservative group leader. He served on the council for 16 years, from May 2000 to 2011, and after a slight interregnum from 2016 to 2022. As a previous mayor of Wigan, Michael was the sole Conservative councillor at one point, but through a significant leadership skill and enthusiasm, he helped the Conservative group grow, and in so doing strengthened, I would say, the council's palette of influence. He has gained a strong reputation, as we know, as a hard-working and informed councillor. Serving across our communities, Michael has a high level of commitment and enthusiasm towards the betterment of our borough. He has served the people with skill and insight, drawing from a wide range of reference points gained from his own hard work and experience. He also has served as the Mayor's Charity Committee as trustee and secretary for many years. The Mayor's Charity, I know, is something that is very close to his heart, and I'm sure that he'll continue to give 100% along with his fellow trustees, Councillor Judith Atherton and Andrew Sharrock. So I'd like to thank him for the significant and lasting impact that his work has achieved, and I certainly hope that his break from the council is a short one. Thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Steve Jones.
Hello. I wasn't sure it was working. First of all, congratulations, Madam Mayor. I actually missed the spot before to say it. I hope you enjoy your role, and I'm sure you'll do a great job. I want to pay thanks to Michael Winstanley. When I look at an opposition, Michael is everything that I'm not always but wish to be. He controls criticism, he argues a good point across, and he also supports the Labour Party when he believes that you do something good. I met Michael, actually, funnily enough, in the shop by accident last week, and what I will say is, I've got a feeling it will be a very short break. I think Michael will be back with us soon, and I think he'll be back arguing for us opposition councillors. Thank you very much.
Councillor Paul Kenny.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and once again, congratulations to you on your appointment, and to Clive as well. I'm sure that Michael will take no offence when I say this, but I was absolutely delighted when David won in Orwell, and Michael will know that I worked extremely hard on David's behalf, as we all did. But leaving those political differences aside, I've always found Michael to be a diligent, strong councillor for the area that he has represented. I value our debate and our discussions over the years, most notably often in the pub after meetings. And whilst I'm delighted that Councillor Wood is with us today, I echo the comments of Councillor Evans, and if you do return to the chamber in the future, Michael, then I look forward to engaging once again with you. And just as an aside, I will be in the pub later and I'll buy you a pint.
Thank you. Councillor David Molyneux.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm going to echo some of the comments that have been made previously to me, but probably unlike Councillor Evans, I'm not hoping to see Michael sat back over there for a long period of time, but he knows where I'm certainly coming from on that. And I think that shows the respect that we do have for Michael, and certainly in everything he's done. And I know he'll be fighting really hard to get back into this council chamber. He's fought for many years to get in another chamber, and who knows, one day he may make it. But can I just say that Michael's contribution to the borough, not just as a councillor, but a member of the Mayor's Charity Committee, he's always led from the front in terms of defending Wigan and speaking about Wigan at every opportunity. And I do know that personally that carries a lot of weight. And certainly within your party, it certainly does help to have that voice, particularly when you're in government, where that can be heard. So I wish Michael well. We know we'll see him next year on the campaign trail. But on behalf of the Labour group, Michael, we hope you have a long and happy retirement. And take advantage of your rest so you can follow your passion of horse racing and rugby league. So thank you very much, Michael, for the service as a councillor. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 11 on the agenda, election of the executive leader. I call on Councillor Chris Reedy to move the appointment of Councillor David T. Molyneux as executive leader of the council for the period 2022 to 2026. This term is dependent on the results of the all-out elections in 2023. Is this seconded? Do any of the members wish to contribute? Sorry.
Have I got to move it first?
Oh, sorry. Beg your pardon.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And I'm probably going to break with tradition. Usually this is a formality kind of role to move the leader. But I thought we've been in unprecedented times over the last few years, and I thought it's only right to kind of say a few words. I think when David got voted into office in 2018, there were some massive shoes to fill in Lord Peter Smith. And that's, you've got a period there where you've got to learn the ropes. I know David had been around a long time, but the leader's role is significantly different than any other role. So I suppose once David had got his feet under the table and started to doing all the things that he wanted to do in this council, we was it with the pandemic. I don't think any leader in the history of Wigan or whatever had ever have to face the things that we had to face through COVID. And, you know, David did that with stature, made Wigan the place that we actually front runner within the country on the things that we did, whether it be PPE or whatever. He was there to make those decisions. As I said, it was big shoes to fill, and he did that really quickly and did it and got on with that. And I think, David, I don't want to kind of put it too much on you, but we've not got out of that yet. We've got a cost of living crisis now, so we've not gone out of that game, but never afraid to make those big decisions that we need to make as leader. And if anybody sees the leader's diary and speaks to Joe O'Connor, it's hard to get a slot because this guy's in 24/7 doing this job. You probably know that when you email him and comes back. Supportive of lots of people in this chamber. I would say everybody, but I don't know all the stuff that he does behind the scenes. I think as leader, you've got a wider remit of working in GM and sometimes national. But David's focus, and one of the things he said when he took office and as cabinet we chatted, his focus is Wigan. Wigan primarily, and everything that goes on here with Wigan people. So I've got to say that. And one of the things I'm going to finish on before I actually move it, one of the things that David does, and he'll probably not thank me for this, he's like an agony aunt. Because wherever we've got problems, whether it be private or personal, we speak to the leader. And that becomes, whether it's opposition or everybody who've got issues, and I don't know them issues, but I just know that when I've been at his door, when I've got personal problems, he's there to help me. And Davies got his own issues as well to deal with, but I think it's the stature of the man that's done that. So I want to formally kind of move the appointment of Councillor David Molyneux as leader for the from 2022 to 2026, and long may it continue the work that he's done. Thank you, David.
Thanks, Councillor Eady. Is this seconded? Thank you, Councillor Raymond. Do any other members wish to contribute? Councillor Steve Jones.
Thank you. I promise this is going to be the last time I speak today. I'm kind of dusting off, getting back used to it. You know, when I look at a leader, I think the most important thing is, because I'm going to disagree with David many, many times over this next 12 months, but what matters to me is that the leader has a good heart. That I believe the decisions they make as leader, they're making because they truly believe that's the best thing. And I must admit, David, I was sceptical when you first come as leader, but that was because I didn't know you. You know, a lot of time we listen to conspiracy theories and we get wrapped up in the politics of everything. But you're an absolute gentleman. I'll never forget when my first little one was born, and you looked like a 100-metre sprinter running across that car park to come and congratulate me. And I saw there that was obviously David's soft spot, family. And like I said, many times I'll disagree with him, but I think he's an approachable, well-spoken, nice person. And I remember him saying he was going to be the listening leader, and I think he is. So he's got my full support. And rather than stand up again in a minute, Madam Mayor, I'm just going to say that I'm made up with the deputy leader as well, Keith Cunliffe, who I couldn't say any more kind of words for than I said for David. So I think under the two of you, we'll be here to oppose you, I promise you, but it'll be done respectfully, and when you do a right decision, you've always got a friend in me and my support. Thank you very much, Madam Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Jones. Anybody else? Nobody else. I will now move to the vote. All those in favour, please show. All those against? Any abstentions? Councillor David T. Molyneux is elected as leader of the council. Members of Cabinet and Committees 2022-23. The Council is requested to appoint its committees for the 2022-23 municipal year. Appointments to the committees, other than were indicated, must be made either in accordance with the political balance rules or under an alternative scheme against which there has been no contrary vote. The nominations, including those for Chair and Vice Chair, are set out in the report. I invite the leader to move all the appointments within the report as per the nominations set out on the supplementary agenda. Are there recommendations? Sorry, leader.
Yeah, happy to move, Madam Mayor, but can I just take this opportunity? You'll have noticed that there are a couple of changes, and one in particular is the change of chair of Planning Committee. And can I just place on record my thanks to Stephen Hellier, who's been in the post now for a couple of years, and has certainly, as a friend and as a colleague, has certainly been a good ally in terms of what our vision is for the borough. So I'd like to personally put on record my thanks to Stephen Hellier for his time as chair of Planning Committee. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Are the recommendations seconded? Thank you. Do any of the members wish to contribute before we move to the closing speeches? Councillor Reedy.
I reserve the right to speak, but I'm okay at the moment. Thank you.
Leader, do you wish to sum up? All those in favour of accepting the nominations set out in the report, please. Against? Any abstentions? The vote is carried. Thank you. Appointments of statutory and non-statutory co-opted members to the Council's committee. The Council is recommended to agree the nominations as set out in the report in the Council agenda. I invite the Leader to move the nominations as set out in the report.
Happy to move the nominations, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Are these seconded?
Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Do any other members wish to contribute? Councillor Eady? Thank you. Leader, do you wish to sum up? Okay. All those in favour of the nomination set out in the report? Anybody against? Any abstentions? The result of the vote is carried. Thank you. Membership of outside bodies. The Council is requested to make its appointments on outside bodies for 2022-23 as set out on the supplementary agenda. Political balance rules apply in those cases where it is indicated in the report. I invite the Leader to move all the appointments within the report as per the nominations set out on the supplementary agenda.
Happy to move the nominations, Madam Mayor.
Are the recommendations seconded?
Happy to second, Madam Mayor.
Two nominations have been received for the Housing Advisory Panel. Councillor Evans from the Conservative Party and Councillor Wilkinson from the Independent Alliance. All those in... Sorry, Leader.
Keeps flashing out. Madam Mayor, can I just indicate that the Labour group will not be taking part in the vote for this and will be abstaining, as it is an opposition's nomination, and I think they themselves should vote for that. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Can I ask all those to vote? All those in favour of Councillor Evans, please show. All those in favour of Councillor Wilkinson, please show. Any abstentions? Councillor Wilkinson has been nominated to the Housing Advisory Panel. Since the publication of this agenda, Councillor Cleave will replace Councillor Clive Morgan as a nomination for the North West of England and the Isle of Man Reserve Forces and Cadets. Do any other members wish to contribute before we move to the closing speeches? Councillor Eady? Leader, do you wish to sum up?
No, happy to go to the vote, Madam Mayor.
All those in favour of accepting the nominations set out in the report, take your vote, please. Any abstention? Against? Any abstentions? The result is accepted. Local authority. Item 15, Local Authority Governors Report. The Council is requested to approve the nominations for the appointment of school governors as set out in the Council agenda. I invite Councillor Bullen to move the nominations.
Madam Mayor, I wish to move the nominations. Thank you.
Are the nominations seconded?
Happy to second, Madam Mayor.
Do any other members wish to contribute? Councillor Bullen, do you wish to sum up?
Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Can I put the report to the vote? All those in favour of accepting the nominations as set out in the report, please show. Any against? Any abstentions? The result of the vote is carried. Item 16, HS2 Phase 2B, Western Leg, Crewe to Manchester, hybrid bill petitioning. The Council has requested to approve the recommendations as set out in page 34 of the report. I invite Councillor Prescott to move the recommendations as set out in this report.
Beg to move, Madam Mayor.
Is this seconded?
Beg to second, Madam Mayor.
Do any other members wish to contribute?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. And may I congratulate you on your position. I'm sorry I'm reading from this phone. I do assure you that the sound is switched off. The Conservative group restates our opposition to the Goulburn spur of HS2, but in the event that it does go ahead, it would only be right to seek mitigation measures for Houlton and Goulburn. No decision has yet been made as to whether the spur will be cancelled, but we expect an announcement shortly, and we very much hope the spur will be scrapped. In the event the spur is scrapped, we hope the Council would not challenge this and instead back the cross-party alternative proposed to upgrade the West Coast Main Line through Warrington to Wigan, which would achieve the same strategic objectives for the Council. We'd like to place on record our thanks to James Grundy MP for Lee, who has worked with the Houlton East councillors as a tireless champion of the local residents affected by the route of the spur and is very familiar with the issues, given his own family are one of the thousands that have been affected. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
Leader, do you wish to speak on this report?
I'm happy to second and move the report, Madam Mayor.
Councillor Prescott? Yes, thank you.
I think it's important that people understand what we're trying to achieve here today. As you'll be aware, Wigan Council has strongly supported HS2 to date, while we're always maintaining the position of the need to ensure that the proposals were delivered in such a way that minimise the negative impacts while maximising the benefits of HS2 to this borough. The report makes very clear that there are numbers of issues that require resolution. So the purpose of the report before Council today is to seek approval for the Council to petition the bill on those matters it opposes, as well as calling for other elements that would be greatly beneficial to the borough to be included in the bill, and not to exclude them from the bill, which they are at this moment in time. The changes proposed by the Council to the bill seek in its purpose to safeguard residents' interests as far as the Council is able to do so. So, for example, HS2 would, in its present form, impact on the Council's property, inclusive of Hesketh Meadow playing fields, which are to be replaced. The Council's proposed petition includes concerns as to if the replacement facility is sufficient and how that can be assessed. Other key elements of our petition include, at present, another of those key elements at present absent from the bill is the imperative need to lengthen the platforms of Wigan North West Station, which would allow the widest possible range of services. The upgrade of the station would enhance public realm, enable growth and regeneration opportunities. It would also enhance connectivity to the station's gateway area. The Council is also petitioning for the reinstatement of the Northern Court connecting to Goulburn link with the Manchester spur of HS2, which would give local service opportunities across the Wigan Borough. Madam Mayor, it's right that these important issues should be decided in the public realm in an open and in a transparent way, as we seek to do today. I'll try and get to the end of this. This was originally a 10-minute speech, but I'll try and get to the end of it. I must make it clear that not to petition the bill would without doubt mean that this Council would not be seeking to safeguard the best interests of residents in as far as it was possible for the Council to do so, and especially in regards to those living near to the proposed route. Madam Mayor, I will be voting in support of the recommendations contained in the report. I would also ask members to support the recommendations in the report. Failure to do so would mean that we were not acting in the very best interests of the people of this borough. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
I will now move to the vote. All those in favour, please show. All those against? Any abstentions? The recommendations are approved. Thank you, and that concludes the business of this afternoon. Have a safe journey home.